Shalom. To start this lesson, I want to begin by giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutation to the sincere brothers pushing his truth in all truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of earth, diligently. To you I say Shalom. I'm the brother Warborn Lawyer from the GMS Miami, the Herald of Yahweh Shai camp, and I come back with another lesson. And what I'm going to be going into in this lesson is basically the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. All right. And this is a title I basically I had this title in my notes. You know, I didn't know when I was going to do the lesson. You know, sometimes you have titles in your notes and you might not do the lesson that week. You might not do that lesson that month. You know, ultimately you can have the title in your notes. You can have the title written in the notebook, whatever. But ultimately, when it comes to certain topics, when it comes to certain lessons, you know, the Lord, you might have it written out or written in your notebook, whatever. But ultimately, you gotta wait for the Lord to put it on your spirit to do the lesson. And this is one of the lessons. Excuse me. This is one of the lessons that I just had to wait on the Lord to put it in my spirit to do. All right. Woke up not too long ago from a nap, and I was going through. I seen something that one of the elder brothers in the camp that I'm in, one of the elder brothers, something that he put in the chat, which was very edifying. You know, he was putting all of us brothers on game. All the brothers in the chat, he was putting all of us on game, and he was basically, you know, sharing with us something he does to keep him, you know, locked in the spirit. You know, something he does to when he's, you know, when he's like, he basically something to keep him locked in the spirit. I'm gonna just say it like that, you know, just to keep it plain. Something he does to keep him locked in the spirit, okay. Which what he was showing us was very beneficial and very edifying, okay. Which is something that this is not his first time telling us about it, all right. But you know, telling brothers again about it, you know, repetition, the father of all skills, you know, just for brothers to, you know, really get it, you know. But after what he was saying, it really, the title of this lesson came to mind, you know, and it was on my spirit. I was like, man, let me do this lesson. All right, let me do this lesson, which is, once again, the title is, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Okay, which the brother was mentioning that in the message that he shared with us brothers. Like, hey, man, you know, sometimes you got to fight the beat in the spirit, all right? Sometimes you got to fight because this flesh is so evil, it's so weak. The flesh is so soft. It's so, you know, feeble, you know. You got to really fight the flesh, all right? You got to really fight the flesh, all right? So you can be in the spirit, because the spirit is willing, bro. The spirit is willing, man. The spirit constantly wants to be fed. The spirit constantly wants to grow. The spirit constantly wants to hear the word of the Lord. The spirit constantly wants to be active, but that flesh constantly wants you to be slothful, lazy, lay in bed all day, watch folly on your phone all day, okay? Think upon women all day, all right? Scroll through social media all day. Watch these different podcasts all day. Just lay in your bed, eat potato chips with a crushed grape soda next to you, and watch Netflix all day. The flesh wants you to be slothful. The flesh does not want you to give attendance to reading. The flesh does not want you to give diligence to make your calling and election sure. All right. The flesh doesn't want you to be amped to teach, like the scriptures say. All right. The flesh doesn't want you to exhort, all right, as you see the day of the Lord approaching, all right, and etc. Basically, the flesh doesn't want you to be active, okay? If you're in the spirit, you're going to be lively. You're going to be active. The flesh doesn't want you to be active. The flesh wants you to be the flesh wants you to be stagnant, man. Okay, the flesh wants you to be stagnant. The flesh doesn't want you to move forward. The flesh wants you to like a car. The flesh just wants you to stay in park. He doesn't want you to move forward. Okay, the flesh just want to stay in park, but the spirit wants to move forward. Okay, it's a constant fight between the spirit and the flesh. The flesh is willing. The spirit, Slakia, slip of the tongue. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Okay, it's a constant fight between the two. But let's get right into the scriptures. This was not meant to be long. This is the book of. Bear with me a second, brothers. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Okay, how do you walk in the spirit? All right, watching the videos, reading, studying, praying, being brotherly, thinking upon the brotherhood, meditating upon the scriptures, overseeing the flock, and etc. That's how you walk in the spirit. All right, that's how you stay locked in the spirit. Okay, and by you doing that, you're not going to fulfill the lust of the flesh. Verse 17, for the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And they are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. So it's beef really between the spirit and the flesh. The spirit want to get active, but the flesh wants you to be lazy. Okay, it's like, in a sense, you know how you see cartoons. You got the good angel. You got the angel on the left hand or the right hand, and you got the what they'll say, the devil. You know, really a demon on the left hand or the right hand. I forget which shoulder it is. You know, and it's back and forth. The angel telling you, man, do this, go about it this way, and the demon telling you, man, nah, go about it this way, go about it that way. That's like the spirit and the flesh. The spirit like, man, I want to get active. Let's get active. The flesh like, man, lay down. You know, you can get active later. You know, and that's one thing in this flesh, something that brothers battle with, something we all battle with at times. All right, procrastinating. Okay, procrastinating in this flesh. You gonna procrastinate sometimes. Oh, I'm gonna do this later. I'm gonna study later. You know, I'm gonna read later. Then the whole day go by, you ain't do nothing. All right, you ain't do nothing. Now you feel like shit, you know, which, hey, at the end of the day, it's called to up. Hey, a just man falls 7 times to get back up again. All right, don't let that destroy you. Don't condemn yourself. Try again better. Try again harder the next day. Okay, that day the flesh won is all cool. Sometimes the flesh gonna win, bro. All right, sometimes the Lord lets the flesh win. It's a balance. The Lord is a balanced God. The Lord deals with balance. Sometimes the Lord lets the flesh win. Sometimes the Lord lets the spirit win. Sometimes the Lord makes you walk in the spirit, do what you gotta do in the spirit, and then sometimes the Lord makes you please your flesh. There's nothing wrong with pleasing your flesh, all right, here and there. All right, it's a balance. All right, but let's get I'm trying to see some Salakia brothers. Let me just get Galatians chapter 5, and I'm gonna read it again just in the NLT. This is the book of Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. So Galatians 5 and 16 in the NLT. So I say, let the Spirit guide your lives. But Salakia, so I say, let the Holy Spirit guide your lives. Then you won't be doing what your sinful nature craves. All right. 17. The sinful nature wants to do evil. All right. Which is just the opposite of what the Spirit wants. And the Spirit gives us desires that are the opposite of what the flesh, the sinful nature desires. These two forces are constantly fighting each other, so you are not free to carry out your good intentions. So there's a constant fight between the spirit and the flesh. The flesh wants to indulge in wickedness. The flesh wants to indulge in things that are against the Most High. The flesh wants to indulge in things that aren't really profitable. Okay? The flesh wants you to be on social media all the time, scrolling, looking at women, which is nothing wrong with looking at women. We're men, we desire women. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. But the flesh wants you to do that 24/7. Look at women. All right? Just look at folly on TikTok. All right? A lot of these people in the world, they're moving in the flesh. The flesh, the flesh is constantly the flesh is constantly conquering them. All right? But us, we're in this truth. We're in this truth. We're able to walk in the spirit. The Lord has given us the Lord has given us the ability to walk in the spirit. Majority of these people out here, they're not in the truth. They don't know how it is to walk in the spirit. They can't walk in the spirit, to be honest. They haven't even returned back to the Lord. They're still in their folly. Okay? Due to them not returning back to the Lord, they don't know how to walk in the spirit. And them not knowing how to walk in the spirit, guess what? They're constantly being beat up by the flesh. Okay? Beat up by the flesh is constantly winning. These people are addicted to TikTok, addicted to Instagram, addicted to Snapchat, addicted to YouTube where they got the 20v1s. All right? Addicted to YouTube and these different platforms dealing with the podcasts. All right? With men and women. All right? The flesh, men addicted to these different apps, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. All right? Why are they addicted? Okay? Because the flesh. And the same thing that's conquering them, which is the flesh, all right? And the flesh that's making them do these different things, that's what the flesh be wanting us to do. Sometimes we have to fight that shit. Not even sometimes. A lot of times you won't need to fight that shit. All right? It's times you wake up in the morning and the flesh just wants you to go straight to some fucking folly, man. All right? Wake up in the morning, you want to listen to some rap music. Bruh, chill out. Read a psalm or something right quick. Go read your psalm right quick. And then after you read your psalm, after you pray, you read your psalm, you meditate a little bit. You please the spirit right quick. Then you can hop into some quick folly. You can please your flesh a little bit. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay? But you can't overindulge. You can't overdo it. All right? And this is a message for all of us. Talking to myself first and foremost, I ain't perfect. All right? And sometimes the flesh wins with me. Sometimes the flesh wins with all of us at times. All right? It happens. But hey, you get back up again. You try again. You try again the next day, or you try again, later on. All right. Like Craig's dad said in that was Friday. All right. Hey, you live to fight another day. So hey, you gonna fall, get back up, and you live to fight another day. Fight. All right, and something about fighting, since I said fighting, hey, the Lord wants us to fight. That's why the Lord brings us to these situations dealing with the spirit and the flesh. The Lord wants us to fight. The Lord wants us to fight the flesh, all right, to gain the spirit. Because the Lord wants us to see a fight, man. All right? The Lord wants to see his soldiers fight. All right? He blessed our hands, all right, to fight. So fight. All right? The Lord's a man of war. The Lord likes to see a fight. So fight. We're blessed. All right? We're blessed to be able to fight. The Lord gives us the spirit gave us the strength and the spirit to fight. So fight. All right? Let me grab in that book. Let me grab it, Romans. Well, that's Romans chapter 7, I believe. Check. Yeah, that is Romans chapter 7, I believe. Yep. This is the book of Romans chapter 7. And I'll start verse 12. Romans 7 and 12. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy and just and good. Was then that which is good made death unto me? God forbid. But sin that it might appear sin, working death in me by that which is good, that sin by the commandment might become exceeding sinful. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that I do, that do I not. But what I hate, that I do. All right. So Apostle Paul is saying, once again, for that which I do, I allow not. So certain things you do, it's not you wanting to do it. You know, you don't want to do that shit. Excuse my French. But you do it because you're in the flesh. For what I would. So it's certain things I want to do. I want to wake up in the morning and read, study, get in the scriptures, drop a lesson. I want to do that. That I do not. I want to do that, but sometimes you end up waking up in the morning and get caught up in some bullshit because of the flesh. For what I hate, that I do. So things that you hate, things you don't want to do, sometimes you end up doing. All right? Sometimes you end up doing. Okay? It happens. Then, verse 16, for then I do that which I would not. I consent unto the law that it is good. Now then, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. Man, for the will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good I find not. For the good that I would do, for the good that I would, for the good that I would, I do not. For the evil which I would not, that I do. Now if I do that I would not, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. Okay? And, for the sake of time, you can continue to keep reading down. But the point is, at times, even Apostle Paul confessed it. At times you're going to want to do this and that in the spirit. You're going to want to do good. But it's going to end up going left sometimes. Okay? Sometimes the flesh going to win. All right? Sometimes you hate to do this. You don't want to do this, but you end up doing it because you're in the flesh. Okay? You're in the flesh. All right? This flesh is subject. This flesh is going to make you go off at times. This flesh is going to make you sin, even though you don't want to do it. It happens because you're in the flesh. It happens. Okay? Yahushua was in the flesh. Okay? When he was King Solomon. Okay? When he was Adam. He made mistakes. Okay? Not mistakes he wanted to make, but it happened because he was in the flesh. We're in the flesh. It's times we gonna make mistakes. Okay? But don't let your mistakes, don't let your sins weigh you down. Get back up and try again harder the next day. All right? And that's what Yahushua did. Hey, he sinned as Adam. He sinned as King Solomon, but when he came back as Yahweh Shai, he wrote, he did everything perfect. All right. Yahweh Shai is a plain example and a major example of someone falling and going off, but ultimately conquering at the end. So at times, the flesh gonna win. It is what it is. Hey, it is what it is. It's a part of it. It's gonna be times that the flesh wins. It's gonna be times that the spirit wins. But if the flesh wins, don't allow that to be the end of the whole fight. Get back up and keep fighting. Talking to myself first and foremost. All right. Let's do it, brothers. And this is only gonna get harder, bro. Through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of the Most High. It's only gonna get harder. The fight only gonna get harder, but keep fighting. The Lord got us, man. As the fight gets harder, just know the Lord is making us harder, and the Lord is leveling us as well. So something quick I want to get into. Lord's will, this was edifying. I'm going to end off by giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachah Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutation to sincere brothers pushing his truth and all truth sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth diligently. To you I say shalom.